What is good, y'all? Welcome to Let's Cap. I'm your host, Ronald Cabang from wagertalk.com and themoneyballer.com. Once again, got my guy Munaf here with me today. Recap of yesterday, not good in the W. Went 1-4, lost two of them by like a bucket. Uh, and then some weird stuff in the Liberty game, got them over the team total. But I mean, if I waited, I would have ended up winning that one. So it was just a couple bounces that didn't go my way, but still hitting at a 57% clip on the season. So still profitable. Hopefully we can turn things around tomorrow. But no WNBA today, all MLB, and then a lot of games about to kick off in like 10 minutes. So probably gonna miss those, and we'll just dive into the later games here today. Munaf, how did things go for you?
Yeah, the two picks I gave out yesterday on the show, the top looks, they both cashed. We had the Astros first five, like we both like that one.
Yeah,
Astros first five and Astros team
team
total
total.
over. Yeah, and then I think it was the Braves and Twins first five under as
Mhm.
well.
Uh-huh.
That I'd message you right away because the Braves scored in the first inning.
First
I
inning,
was
yeah.
like, shit, man. But then both the pitchers locked in, and then that one got to
Yeah.
the window as well. So it turned out to be a really good day yesterday.
I love it. All right. Well, let's hopefully we get some good baseball plays today. Not too much on the board just because how many are there in the afternoon? Like six games in the afternoon. So
Yeah.
we'll lock in on those, and then yeah, let's see what we come up with. I haven't give anything out to Wager Talk clients yet, so hopefully we can find something here today.
Yeah.
Let's get into it. I'll share the screen. So I think we have Mark's in the building once again. Always great to have you up here, Mark. So we got San Diego, Astros, and Dodgers. Yeah, let's do that. So let's go Padres Cardinals first. All right, so we got King and Gray. We have the Padres as slight road favorites here. Totals at 7.5. No edge on the rating system either way, so it's pretty spot on with where the odds are. Schedule wise, so last game of the series here, Padres up on the series 2-1. Yesterday, St. Louis had it 4-3. Kings last five starts. I mean, gave up their. So the Mets scored 5 runs during his time, but only one earned run. Same thing happened yesterday with the Orioles. Whole bunch of errors in that game. Struggling with some control issues here. Prior to this one against the Mets, had two pretty strong starts. Gray's side, we have he's been struggling. Look at the amount of home runs he's been giving up
Yeah.
in his last five starts here. Pretty consistent with that. A little bit of control issues as well for him. Let's look at the full season stats. Sorry, full season trends here. Um, King 16-9 overall in the full game. First five for Sonny Gray, 12-9-3. If we look at the totals, 3-0 to the over as road favorites here for King on the first five and the full game. Splits versus right-handed pitchers for both teams. I mean, nothing really that great here. So Padres as road favorites. This is interesting here on the first five. Padres as road favorites. First five versus right-handed pitchers, 6-11-2. And then Cardinals versus right-handed pitchers in the first five innings as home dogs, 10-3-6. So opposites there. So very profitable as home dogs for the Cardinals. Totals, first five overs for both of these teams in their current situation, road favorites, 13-6 to the over for the Padres versus right-handed pitchers, and then 9-6-2 to the over for the Cardinals versus right-handed pitchers in the first five. Let's look at last 30. Last 30 here. So Sonny Gray, 1-4 overall in the full game, 1-3-1 in the first five. Opposite for King, 3-1 first five and full game. Unders for Sonny Gray in the full game, but overs for King, 3-1 to the over there. Padres versus right-handed pitchers on the full game, 14-6, but that first five is still where we see that big gap here. So
Yeah.
Padres versus right-handed pitchers, first five as road favorites, 1-6-1. Home dogs, Cardinals versus right-handed pitchers, 5-0-1. And then continue to lean towards the over for the splits there. And then let's look at stats. So offense, definitely the edge towards the Padres here. 5.4 runs per game compared to 4. They have the power advantage here. 35 home runs. The ISO is up there. Um, Neither of them really striking out at a high rate, so pretty decent there. Cardinals average is pretty strong. It's just they're not hitting home runs. Speed advantage to the Padres too. If we look at the starting pitcher matchup, King really consistent here, pretty solid. And then if you look towards Sonny Gray, I mean 5.1 ERA, 5.07 FIP. The xFIP is a lot lower, but still that home run per 9 is an issue. Home run per fly ball percent is the issue as well, because we know that Padres do have enough power to get these home runs out there. Bullpen matchup, definitely the edge to the Padres there too. So, I mean, it does seem like Padres are nothing. The trends kind of pointing towards the Cardinals in the first 5, but for the most part in this matchup specifically, it seems like the Padres full game, right? So even all right, so look at this here. 7, 10, and 3 in the first 5 for the Padres versus right-handed pitchers, but then 14 and 6 on the full game. So they kind of take advantage after the starting pitchers come out.
Yeah.
I think it's Padres full game
It's
or nothing.
I played Cardinals first 5. RC.
You did play Cardinals first 5. Okay.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you mentioned about Cardinals bullpen not being in good form. I mean, you've seen Sonny Gray at home has been a whole heck of a lot better than he's been on the road.
Yeah.
But I just want to take the bullpens out of it, especially for the Cardinals, like you mentioned there. I played first 5. And it's a little bit telling because something goes back to what we mentioned. The same thing about the Astros, right? That first 5 is a little bit shaded on the favor of the Cardinals versus the full game money line for them as well, even though they're still favorites. I think it's like a 5-cent difference. So I did play the first 5 for the Cardinals.
I like that. I do like that. But I also think that the full game goes to the Padres. Maybe this is that situation where maybe I wait a little bit and then take the Padres live or something like that.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything on the total, you think?
7.5 is a number right now. I don't see anything as from a weather perspective. Let me just double check that. I still have like about 8 minutes before it starts, but I mean, some of the stuff that you mentioned was pointing towards the over, right? Or at least a Padres team total over.
Lean towards the over, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, it's hot as hell. It's 100 degrees, so the ball may be flying a little bit.
Yeah, the only thing I could think of is towards the over, just the amount of home runs that Sonny Gray gives up.
Yeah.
And that would, so that's the part that's kind of interesting, right? Because you're taking the Cardinals in the first 5, but Gray does give up home runs. It would probably be like a first 5 over, if anything.
Yeah, I think the number's 4 as well.
4, okay. Yeah, but I think Padres full game is still the way that I would look overall.
Yeah, I couldn't talk
out of everything. All right, let's move on to the next one. Oh, wait, let me see here. I see Toast in the building here. Cardinals bullpen not in a great spot. Gray at home. Nats Rays, so he had a pretty easy schedule.
Mm-hmm.
He has had a pretty easy schedule. Okay. Got it. So he's been giving up home runs versus an easy schedule. So definitely look towards the Padres in the full game. All right, let's move on to the next game here. Astros.
I think Royals, right?
Royals. There you go. All right, so Royals versus Astros here. Astros home favorites. Singer versus Brown. Rating system actually looks towards the Browns. The Royals slightly here, fading Brown. And the Astros bats here. We have a baller system on the Royals, so backing them. This is the first game of the series for the Royals. For this series, Houston 10-0 yesterday. Royals 5-7 loss to the Guardians. All right, so Singer's last 5 starts, struggled in his last one. Then he gave up 11 hits, 5 earned runs. Did have a good one right before it against Cincinnati. Brown's start, he's been pretty solid overall the last 5 starts here. I'm wondering if because I'm looking at this starting pitcher matchup is 2-2 on the rating system. I'm assuming there's maybe some positive regression here for Singer. Let's look at full season trends here. All right, so Singer 15-12 on the season, 2-7 as road dogs. Hunter Brown first five is a good spot for him, 14-8-2, and 6-3-1 as a home favorite. Unders for Hunter Brown here in the first five and full game. Unders for Brady Singer 9-14-3 overall, but then they go over and after he's out. Versus right-handed pitchers, team versus right-handed pitchers. Royals pretty solid here, but as road dogs, 12-23 on the full game. And then on the opposite side, Astros 54-42 overall in the full game as home favorites, 23-18. Slightly into the under for both teams here versus right-handed pitchers overall. You can see here on the full game specifically, 57, 36, and 3 to the under. And then as home favorites, 23, 17, and 1. Let's look at last 30. So last 30 days here, nothing really significant for either side. Overs for Singer on the full game, but unders for Hunter Brown. Both pretty profitable last 30 days versus right-handed pitchers. Here's an interesting thing. 10-6-5 overall in the first five for the Astros, but as home favorites, just 1-4-3. And you see here the Royals 12-5-1 overall in the first five last 30 days, as road dogs 4-2. So that's kind of the opposites there. If we look at the totals, unders for the Astros overall 6-14-1, first five and full game, but then overs for the Royals as road dogs versus right-handed pitchers. If we look at the batting matchup, edge to the Royals offensively here. They're both teams relying on home runs a lot. You see their home runs there. Average Royals definitely up there, 282 as a team. Man, Royals offense is pretty solid right now. All right, so if we go pitching matchup, there it is. There's that ton of positive regression here for Brady Singer, but we have to see. Kind of anticipate, is it going to happen against the Astros, right? Hunter Brown's numbers are really solid here. Negative regression for Astros here. A little bit of positive regression for Royals, but overall pretty even as far as bullpen goes. This to me kind of looks like a first five under based on the starting pitcher matchup. But it's hard to take that under when the Royals bats are been pretty solid. But that would be the way that I lean here, would be the first five under, based on the starting pitcher matchup. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, travel situation for both teams. I think we also need to keep in mind for the Royals is that they had that doubleheader on Monday, and then they had obviously the two games after that against the Guardians. So it was a big division game matchup in that early in the week, right? Because both those teams are battling for first place in the AL Central.
Mm-hmm.
And now obviously in travel situation for both teams. We talked about it, man. RC, like the Astros' first 5 innings has been a gold mine for us.
Yeah.
I think you got to continue staying that way. If you want to just play the money line, I know it's a little bit juice, or if you want to take the run line, I see Toasties on that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Hunter Brown at the beginning of the season, like he was a gas can. I mean, me and you could probably hit off of him early in the season, but he's really turned it around. Him and Spencer Arrighetti, right? We saw yesterday what he was able to do against that Phillies lineup as well. So, yeah, I'd look at him in the first 5. If it's not broke, don't try to fix it.
Yeah.
Speak of the devil in the chat right now, but yeah, I would go Astros first 5.
The question, does Hunter Brown pitch well against the Royals? 3.2, 17. Damn.
His career numbers are bad, yeah.
That's crazy. All right, so just looking at the situational spot too, though. Astros first game of the series at home. Sorry, let me move that out. At home, starter Hunter Brown, 5-0 straight up on the full game, 4-0-1 in the first 5.
Yeah.
So this is definitely a good spot for him. Let's look at Brady Singer real quick.
But look at that first 5 differential as well, RC.
A lot of run support on his side.
Yeah.
Definitely on that. That's pretty interesting. All right, so let's go to first game of the series and A. So the opposite
for Singer.
For Singer, total opposites here. So I mean, the stats kind of to me kind of looked like a first five under, but maybe the better look is just taking the Astros on the full game money line. I know you mentioned first
Full
five,
game.
that's been a spot,
Yeah.
but the Astros, I mean, just from a situational spot, it seems like it's also an Astros spot for full game.
Makes sense.
Would you go and split a unit first five and a full game and just have it?
I think if Hunter Brown goes 6-7 innings, I kind of want to see how many innings he's gone over his last couple starts here.
Mhm.
I don't want to say the bullpen has been taxed. I kind of want to see how many innings Spencer Arrighetti went yesterday.
So Hunter Brown
Because the
starters
part that
in.
makes me nervous, and you and I have talked about this a lot, is that it's that first five and that bullpen comes in and absolutely just messes all up. But
Yeah,
bullpen wasn't used a lot yesterday. He went 7 2/3 innings, and it was already a blowout at that point. So the bullpen's
yeah,
just good.
sure. Yeah.
So yeah, I could
Solid.
talk a full game if you wanted.
Astros full game, yeah. You just stay away from the total. Seems like Astros side is the better look than anything on the totals.
Yeah.
All right, so Astros. What did we say about the Padres game? I forgot to write it down.
I took Cardinals first 5.
Oh, yeah, all right, yeah. And then I was
Yeah.
saying Padres full game.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's go on to the next game. And then he mentioned Dodgers. Man, this one was crazy yesterday. So, oh shit, hold on. This one was crazy because I had the Orioles money line, and he only gave up 1 earned run and 5 unearned. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that should have been a spot for the Orioles to get that win yesterday. That was really funky. All right, so let's go on to this one. Orioles, Dodgers. Dodgers home favorites here. Total at 9.5. We got Povich and Bobby Miller. Orioles again on the rating system. This is last game of the series. So rubber match. So each team won one each. Povich last 5 starts struggled in his last one. Gave up 2 home runs, 5 earned runs total. I mean, he had a one game where he had 0 walks, but other than that, kind of struggling with control there. Bobby Miller, he's been giving up home runs a ton too, so I can see why the total is where it's at. Some control issues other than the last start against the Rays, but obviously he gave up home runs. So let's look at the full season trends here. So neither one doing really well from a win-loss perspective, but in their situational spots, pretty solid. Full game 3-0 as home favorites for Bobby Miller. Road dog situation 1-0. Overs for both of these guys. And Miller here 7-1-1 to the over in the first 5 specifically. Versus left-handed pitchers on the full game. Look at the Dodgers 30-13, but 8 of those losses came as home favorites. Road dog situation here for the Orioles versus right-handed pitchers 8-4 in the full game. 6-4-2 in the first 5. Totals actually looks towards the under, so it seems like when they're that's pretty interesting to me. So unders for the full game 24-18-1 to the under. But Orioles versus right-handed pitchers as road dogs, strong overlook 9-2-1 to the over in the first 5, 8-4 full game. If we look at last 30 days, both struggling in the first 5, but not a lot of starts in this time span. Still looking towards the overs, and then nothing significant for the last 30 team splits there, or the over under too. So maybe the over is still in play for the Orioles. First 5, 3-0 to the over there. Let's look at the batting matchup. Pretty even batting matchup as far as like runs per game and how the advanced numbers are looking too. Only thing that the Dodgers have the advantage of is the speed factor there, 31-12 stolen bases. Pitching matchup, both of these guys kind of struggling here, giving up home runs at a high rate. Povich, not a strikeout pitcher either. If we look at the bullpen, some negative regression for Dodgers. Orioles bullpen not that good the last 30 days either. mean, this is looking like an over type game to me. 9.5 is a pretty high total though.
I see nines out there.
9. Okay. Did it come down then?
Yeah,
Um,
I played over 9.5 when it opened, so I've got the bad of the number. I do
yeah.
see a nines out there.
I'm wondering why it's coming down, but a lot of things to me are pointing towards an over. Any other thoughts on this one? We could probably dive into some of the SDQs.
Yeah, I'm not putting money on a side to back either one of these pitchers. I just see
Yeah,
runs
yeah,
being scored. In particular, Cade Povich's road games. It's a small sample this season, but 3 games, they've seen 11 or more runs combined in all 3 of those games, 11, 13, and 27. Um, so he just, again, he's a pitcher that I don't want to back. And you mentioned Bobby Miller as well. 3-0 in his home starts as well for the Dodgers. All 3 games I've gone over the total. 9 or more have been scored. So this could be a game where we do see runs maybe early and often, like we saw yesterday, and it
uh-huh.
gets over the total maybe fairly early. So I do like the over. Toast mentioning Dodgers team total over. Couldn't talk you off of that one either.
Mm-hmm. Dodgers team total over.
Yep.
Full game. Yeah. Dodgers team total over full game. Got it. I see what you're saying. Okay. All right. So real quick. So I pulled Dodgers on the rubber match. They're 6-10 on the full game, but 9-7 in the first 5. But leaning towards the under though, 11-5 to the under. So let's look at the other side, Orioles. So the rubber match is the opposite for the full game, 8-4 towards the Orioles side, 9-3 first 5, and then they are looking towards the over. Let's see them as dogs. All right. No, 1-1 straight up, but then 2-0 on the run line. Look at the amount of runs. Well, a lot of that's right here in that game. So it seems like they're giving up a lot in the first 5.
First 5, yeah.
Yeah, let's look at Povich again real quick. And then Road Dog. 2-0 to the over, giving up 6 runs each. So what's the team total on the Dodgers?
4.5. This should probably heavily choose though. Let me double check.
Look at Povich on the road.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was mentioning, right?
That's
It's just
just
that his
crazy.
road has been really, really bad.
All right, so Povich in general gave up. You said 4.5, right? So he's giving up 4.
Yeah, let me double check.
1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, 4.5 minus 125 for full game.
Gotcha.
And then let me check first 5 as well. I think that might be and also a good look.
Yeah.
2.5 minus 125.
If you look at this too, it's only so out of 10 games, opponents only under that number in 3 of them. 1, 2, and those 3 were at home. And then this one he was favored.
You filtered by like you said there's only it's only 3 games anyways.
Yeah, only 3 games on the road. That's
Yeah.
why I try to
Yeah.
invest. Yeah, I mean Dodgers team total over with Toast. That sounds a lot like 4.5.
Yeah, I'd probably go either split a unit or maybe go a unit each on first 5 as well.
5 in full game.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. That's pretty solid. Okay, all right, let's move on. So then we don't care what the Orioles do against Bobby Miller. So that makes sense to me. All right, so just take the Dodgers on the team total. All right, so what else is there? What's the next game? Wait, isn't there one that I wanted to get to? All right, this one right here.
Diamondbacks.
Yeah, Mets Diamondbacks. All right, so Diamondbacks, slight home favorites here. The total 8.5. We got Peterson lefty versus Nelson righty. Diamondbacks have the edge on the rating system here on each level: starting pitcher, bullpen, and team batting. Schedule perspective: last game of the series. This is also a rubber match. Yesterday, Arizona 8-5. Last 5 starts for Peterson. He's been pretty solid here. Some slight control issues, but he gets far into the games, not giving up a whole bunch of runs. Nelson last 3 starts gave up a home run in each one of them, but overall, not giving up a ton of earned runs either. He's better control Then Peterson, full season. Let's go to trends here. Peterson, damn, he's solid. 11-3 and
Yeah.
1 first five, 12-3 full game. Um, Definitely better than Nelson overall, but home favorite situation 4-0-1 in the first five for Nelson, and then 5-0 in the full game. But as road dogs for Peterson, 2-0. So both of these pitchers strong in their spots here. Overs for Peterson, I'm assuming just a lot of run support here. 9-4-2 first five and full game. Splits versus righty and lefty. So Mets versus right-handed pitchers, first five, just 12, 14, and 4 as road dogs, 16 and 4 on the full game. Versus left-handed pitchers as home favorites, pretty decent here for the Diamondbacks, 9, 6, and 6 in the first five, 12 and 9 on the full game. Overs versus left-handed pitchers overall, 27, 16, and 3 in the first five, and then 27, 18, and 1 on the full game. Overs versus right-handed pitchers as road dogs for the Mets, 19 and 11 on the full game. Let's go to last 30 days. So both really strong again still, 4-1, 4-1 for both of them. Overs for Ryan Nelson on the full game, but unders in the first five for some reason. Versus left-handed pitchers, not a significant amount, like not a big sample size, but 3-4-1 first five, 5-3 in the full game. Overs still show up here, 6-2 to the over, 5-2-1 to the over in the full game. Let's look at the stat. Oh, this just popped out to me real quick. So if you're a Nerfy better, last 30 days, Ryan Nelson's 5-0, giving up runs, and then Peterson's 4-1. Let's go to stats. Offense to the Diamondback side. I mean, average in the amount of home runs is probably towards the top of the league there. They also have good amount of speed. So everything kind of pointing towards Diamondbacks offense. If we look at starting pitcher matchup, some negative regression from Peterson here, about a 1.5 run gap between ERA, FIP, and xFIP. And then consistent numbers for Nelson. Bullpen edge to the Diamondbacks as well. So a lot of things really pointing towards the D-backs. So I can see why the rating system likes them. The line, though, is pretty even. So I'm trying to figure out. I mean, I'm wondering if they're not expecting the negative regression to come in this game here. What are your thoughts on this one, Mina?
Yeah, this one had conflicting or trends that could back both sides. David Peterson on the road in particular, the Mets are 7-1 straight up in those spots. Ryan Nelson has been pretty good at home this season as well for the Diamondbacks as well. It's the fact that do you trust the bullpen for the Mets? And I think that's probably a resounding no for a lot of us. And we saw the case in point last night, right, where the Mets had the lead and then the bullpen, I think, came in and gave it up, if I'm not mistaken, yesterday. Let me double check that. Yeah, so the Mets had a 5-4 lead and they gave up 4 in the bottom of the 8th to the Diamondbacks for them to get the victory there. So, and the Diamondbacks have been really good against left-handed pitching, right? If you take a look at how they've done at home against left-handed pitching, I believe they're 20-7 straight up. They've been one of the best teams in the MLB throughout the season against left-handed pitching. But it's the fact that you mentioned that David Peterson's in really, really good form here as well. So I'd lean with the Diamondbacks. I don't love it. Again, like I mentioned, it's because you can make cases for both sides here.
Gotcha. Yeah. I'm looking at the rubber match trends here for both teams. So real quick, Mets in the rubber match, 7-3 full game, 6-2-2 in the first five, trending towards the under. If you're looking at like the averages, a lot of it is coming from a couple games here. 16-9, gave up 10 here, Severino. Peterson only pitched one of them, and it was against the Rockies in Colorado. They scored 9, only gave up 1 run. If we look at the opposite side here, the rubber game, 12-7 on the full game, 7-6-6 in the first five. Slight lean towards the under for them, though. They have won 5 straight in this situation by scoring a bunch of runs too in these spots. Man, this one's tough. The only way that I could, so if I would, it would probably be like I was gonna say first five, but I like the Diamondbacks bullpen advantage too. So I mean, if that negative regression happens today against this Diamondbacks offense, it's definitely has to be the Diamondbacks or nothing for me. What do you? So you all right? So we're looking at these totals going over, right? For Ryan in these versus left-handed pitchers. Ryan Nelson's games 4-1 to the over as well. From a total perspective, do you think Diamondbacks team total over would be a good solid play too, or what are your thoughts on that one?
I mean, it's the fact that do you trust the bullpen again? Like I wholeheartedly do not. If it's what's the full game?
I think it was 8.5
total, 8.5. So you're probably gonna get a 4.5, maybe some plus money on that, but it's the fact also, like I mentioned, right? If you take a look at
how, all right, so hold on. It's actually down to 8. So it opened at 9, and we're seeing 8s at some books too. So maybe it's it's still. It is juice to the under 4.5 juice to the under. So you would get plus money on 4.5.
Yeah, I see plus money at 4.5 at plus 1. Plus 115. Maybe maybe it gets to a 4.
Probably. I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't.
Like you mentioned,
my book doesn't have the option to.
Yeah, a lot of these books don't give those 4s. Yeah, that's true.
So stupid. Ryan Nelson. Let me just look at one more thing. Ryan Nelson at home. Oops. 5.6. So he does get run support there, but again, 17 and 11. A lot of that's coming from there. If it's at 4.5, 1, 2, 3. Only 4 games went over that for run support. But 7-3 straight up. I don't think it's the team total. I would probably have to just go with
the side.
The side, yeah.
Yeah.
I would just have to go with the side. So it'd be D-backs money line would be the. All right. All right. What is next? 11:33. Oh, we're pretty fast today. All right. So Toronto, Boston.
Yeah, let's do it.
Actually, let me just see if anyone else put any games up. I forgot to look at the chat.
I don't see anything else.
Nothing? Okay. We did Orioles. Yeah, we just did the Orioles. All right, so let's just do this one. Blue Jays and Red Sox. Red Sox home favorites here. Total at 9. Francis. What? I remember. Okay. I was in Kyle's Discord yesterday, and they were talking about Francis K's over.
He's been a machine.
So Francis versus Crawford. Blue Jays with a slight advantage on the rating system here. So this is last game of the series. 3-6. So 2-1 for the Boston right now. Francis, there's a lot of strikeouts here. He's been pretty solid. Has given up home runs, average 1 per start in the last 5. Crawford, he's been giving up home runs pretty consistently too. Most of it came right there. Pretty solid in his last start though. Doesn't get deep into the games. Not as deep as Francis. And then if we look towards full season, 6-2 first 5, 5-3 in full game for Francis, 9-18 for Crawford on the full game, 3-7 as home favorite. So that's the bullpen struggles for the Red Sox. Totals overs in this situation as road favorites, but first 5, 2, 3, and 2 only on the total. 5-3 to the over full game. Overs in the first 5 for Crawford. 18, 8, and 1 in the first 5 overall. 8-2 as home favorites. Versus right-handed pitchers for the teams. And these are like opposite spots here. All right, so first 5, Red Sox 23, 9, and 4 in the first 5 as home favorites. As road dogs, 9, 22, and 6. And then full game 19-7 for the Red Sox versus right-handed pitchers, and then Blue Jays 13-24. So team trends looking towards Red Sox, but then starting pitcher looking towards backing Francis. Total is nothing really significant there on either side. Let's pull 30 days. 30 days. Francis 4-0 in the first 5, 3-1 on the full game. 2-4 for first 5 and full game for Crawford. So overs for Crawford and then unders for Francis. Last 30 days for the team versus right-handed pitchers. So that first five spot, 7-3-1 for the Red Sox there. 3-5 as a road dog in the first 5 for Blue Jays. But both of them on the losing side. 4-7 as home favorites on the full game as home favorites, and then 2-6 as road dogs for the Blue Jays.
Mm-hmm.
First 5 overs for Blue Jays. First full game overs for the Red Sox, though. Batting matchup. I mean, maybe slight edge to the Red Sox, but nothing really significant here. Just average 4.5 for the Blue Jays, 5 for the Red Sox. Power is about the same. Batting average toward the Red Sox, and they have this stolen base, but they do strike out at a high rate, and that's Francis right there. So they might struggle in that first 5 to get some runs. His numbers are pretty consistent, maybe some slight negative regression. Crawford definitely not doing great right now in his last 5 starts. Bullpen, both kind of struggling here. Would you look towards a Blue Jays team total over?
Yeah, I think Cutter Crawford, especially at home, RCA, he just hasn't been very good. I think he's made 10 starts at home. I just had it in front of me. Give me a second here. For Cutter Crawford at Fenway Park. Yeah, started off the season really, really good, but he just fell off. So 13 starts he's made at Fenway Park. 4-9 straight up are the Red Sox in those games.
Mm-hmm.
Has a couple wins in there since the All-Star break, but it was against the Rangers. Yeah, one in the Yankees, one with the Royals. I would probably look at a team total over here for the Blue Jays.
Mm-hmm.
He's just been consistently bad, whether it's been on the road or it's been at home.
That first 5 over is definitely more profitable than the full game.
Yeah. If there's plus odds on that first 5 for the Blue Jays, I would take the over. Their full game team totals at 3.5.
The Blue Jays?
Yeah. First 5 is 1.5 minus 135.
What the fuck? That's crazy. 1.5. What?
Minus 135.
I mean, you don't think they can get 2 on Crawford? I feel like they should be able to.
This might be a Logan Webb situation again.
Fuck.
From what we had the Brewers the other day.
Yeah. Damn it.
I mean, I could go through it real quick and see.
That's tricky. Last game of the series. Let's look at. All right, hold on. Not a good sample size. He did give up 3. No, that was in the first 5 though.
What's the average he's given up in the first 5?
On the season at home. On the season at home is
for Cutter Crawford.
2.38. 2.38.
So let me do his last 4 or 5 starts here. So 3 against the Phillies.
Man, that's still interesting.
That 1.5 is low, man.
What about just first 5 over in general? Do you think I don't know.
4.5.
Because
Francis is in really good form though.
Yeah. It would be Blue Jays team total over. That would be the only way that I could look. Or even what about either money line or run line first 5 for Blue Jays?
For Blue Jays, yeah.
Because Blue Jays,
I don't want to put money on Cutter Crawford.
Blue Jays bullpen's not that great either, so they could potentially give up runs too.
If you're gonna back the Blue Jays, you want to do it in the first 5.
First 5, yeah. Let's do Jays F5. So it would be first 5 money line or team total over in the first 5.
Yeah.
All right. What is there any more games that we didn't catch? Oakland, Cincinnati. We do Braves and Philly.
No, we didn't do that. That's a good matchup.
Let's go here. What time is it? 11:40. Oh, we're good on time. All right, so we got Braves, Phillies. Phillies home favorites here. Morton and Sanchez, righty versus lefty. Matchup actually even for the rating system. First game of the series for this game. Braves coming off a 5-1 win over Minnesota. Philly lost 10-0. Last 5 starts for Morton. Pretty solid the last 3 as far as like earned runs, but has been giving up home runs at a pretty high rate. We got Sanchez. I mean, he's been okay too. Did struggle in 2 of his last 5 starts. Let's go to full season. Full season trends: 7-5-1 as home favorites in the first 5 for Sanchez, 9-4 in the full game. Morton as road dogs, 1-3-1 first 5, 1-4 full game. Lean towards the under for Sanchez as home favorites, but overs for Morton as road dogs. Versus left-handed pitchers, Braves pretty solid on the season, 23-12-4 first 5, 26-13 full game, and then road dog situation 5-1 first 5 and full game. But Phillies as home favorites been really good all season long. 28-8-4 in the first 5, 28-12 on the full game. In general, first 5 has been solid on the season versus right-handed pitchers. For Philly, 47-27-9. Total slightly to the under for the Braves side. First 5 overs for Philly. Let's go to last 30 days. So Morton's been solid, 4-1 on the full game, 3-2 first 5, 1-3-1 in the first 5 for Sanchez. Unders on the full game for Morton, but slight lean to the over on the first 5. Unders for Sanchez, lean there. Versus left-handed pitchers, Braves still continue to win in the last 30 days too. 5-2-1 in the first 5, 6-2 in the full game as road dogs, 2-0 straight up first 5 and full game. And then the first 5 and full game versus right-handed pitchers last 30 days for Phillies, struggling here compared to the full season. 7-12-1 in the first 5, 7-13 on the full game. Totals overs for the full game for Phillies versus right-handed pitchers. Unders overall for versus left-handed pitchers, but then 2-0 as in the first 5 as road dogs. So stats pretty even from a stat perspective. Power definitely on the Braves side. Speed to Philly. Braves do strike out at a little bit of a higher rate there. Phillies, they don't walk. They don't take a lot of walks though. If we do the starting pitcher matchup, definitely some positive regression on Sanchez's side, and then slight negative on Morton. Morton's giving up a ton of home runs though there, but power definitely not on the Philly, not backing Philly here. They only have 25 in the last 27 games. Bullpen, I would give the edge to the Braves here. Ton of positive regression there and slight negative regression on the Philly side. This one seems like a pretty tough matchup here. The thing is, sorry, so things that point out to me, that pop out to me. So Braves strike out a lot, but Sanchez is not a strikeout pitcher. But there's a ton of positive regression for Sanchez in his advanced numbers. And then you go Morton, he gives up home runs at a high rate, but Philly's not a home run team right now in the last 30 days. So that kind of cancels each other out, in my opinion. The bullpen advantage to me goes to the Braves side. So I would lean towards the Braves side, especially with them being heavy dogs. What are your thoughts on this one?
I think the question becomes like I know we talked a lot about the Twins and Braves this week.
Yeah.
Does it feel like the Braves offense has snapped out of that funk that they were in and just had some positive regression that they can carry over into this series against the Phillies, right? Because
Mhm.
this is going to be another big series. I mean, especially for the Braves, right? Because if they are looking at getting into the playoffs in a wild card spot, I mean, look, they're only 5 games back here in the National League East behind the Phillies. So this is a big series. Charlie Morton has faced the Phillies, I think 4 times or 5 times since
Mhm.
2022, and I think he's undefeated towards the over in
Got it.
those spots. And the division this season alone in division, he's made 4 starts, 3-1 towards the over as well for Charlie Morton. So it might be the fact that these division teams have seen him a lot and they know what's coming from him,
Yeah.
and that's where they're probably able to take advantage of. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right. So first game of the series, I'm looking at some trends from first game of the series as home favorites, 14-7, full game for the Phillies, but a lot of that came right like towards the first half of the season. Things started to fall off right here. They have won the last couple. That's with Zach Wheeler on the mound. So if we pull Sanchez here, just 2-2, slightly into the over. Most of that is run support on these couple games here. All right, let's go to Charlie Morton. When he opens up a series, 5-4, 5-2-2 in the first 5. Full game lean towards the under. Let's go.
How are Braves first game of the series on the road coming off of a road series?
And PA.
Yeah.
So go team. So real quick, this was the first game of the series. Fuck, hold on. Where did I put it? First game of the series on the road with Charlie Morton starting it off. 3-0-1 to the under. So that's a lean towards the under on the full game. So we go to team equals Braves, and then traveling. So road and road. Still leaning towards the under for the most part.
Yeah, 9-2-1 to the under.
Yeah. 9-2-1 to the under. The overs right here. So versus the Brewers, 3-8 and then 5-11.
You also have wind blowing in from right field to left field. So that could mess with guys hitting,
Mm-hmm.
into the air.
This one's tough. I don't know where to go with this one.
I think the lead would be the under.
Under.
Yeah.
Would you say Phillies team total under then?
If it's 4.5, yeah.
It's juice to the under. 4.5
Yeah.
juice to the under. Minus 130, minus 128. Just because I know, because Atlanta versus left-handed pitchers seems like it's a solid overlook. So that would mostly be on their side scoring the runs.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, let me look at that real quick. Versus left-handed pitchers, 26-13. See, most of the runs in these games come on their side. Damn.
From the Philly side.
No, Braves.
Oh, sorry, Braves.
Braves side. Let's look. I'm gonna just look at it. And road. 14-8. Damn, 13-8-1 to the over.
The Braves team total is 3.5.
Oh, 3.5.
Full game,
1, 2, 3, 4. Damn, it seems like that's a strong spot for their team total over 3.5.
For the Braves, yeah.
Oh shoot, Mark just mentioned it. Money line or TTO. 3.5. So if you look at this run here since 613. Right, this is what Braves versus left-handed pitchers on the road. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of the last 9, getting over 3.5 in 7 of them.
And they scored at least 5 in all 3 of those games against the Twins as well.
I mean, do we just take the money line, dude?
I mean, it's a nice plus price around plus 135.
Because if you look at the first 5, man, at this price, it seems like that's the right way to go. There's the money line at plus money, 5-1. And then we have Morton won that one for 3. Let me just check real quick. Sanchez.
Check out Sanchez versus Braves. Last 3 starts.
Oops. 0-3. And that's historically too.
Yeah, but it was Spencer Strider pitching for the Braves as well in 2 of those 3 games.
But they were able to get up a good chunk of runs too. If you look at the runs allowed, 3.33.
I think Braves 3.5 would be the move for me.
Braves team total.
Yeah, I mean it is a little bit juiced. Maybe if you want to take the money line as well, couldn't talk you off of that.
Just split a unit multiple ways.
Yeah, that way if they lose 5-4, at least you break even, and if they win the game without scoring 4 runs, you're almost even broke even again.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So for this one, it would be Braves money line or Braves team total. Braves money line. Oh. All right. Dope. Sounds good. All right, that's it. I gotta take off at noon. All right, so let's go on to. Oh wait, sorry, real quick. I just want to make sure. So the NFL page is up. It's still beta. Still beta. We do have the season preview. So if you go here to the season preview, pops up a different page. And then we have key additions, head coach, results and trends from last season, ranks from last season. You got EPA, plays per game, second, just like all that stuff. We have the schedule, and then like some commentary. All of this was done for each team by Austin Wang, one of our team members here at the Money Baller. So shout out to him for putting all that, putting out all that content. All the baller systems are already up for week 1 as well. So you can see here in this game specifically, we have one for the under for playoff rematches. We have the schedules up. We have, we put like extra features like rest days, all that stuff. And these were from last season, obviously, but gives you a look towards what was going on towards the end of the season last season. Historical matchups. We have, I think it pulls by year. I think the last 5 years or something like that. And then we have right now our stats. We have performance, possessions, yardage, rushing, and receiving. So we broke it out like that. We're still trying to get more advanced stats and numbers. And then right now we have it filtered for last season because obviously we don't have anything for this season. But later on, you could just use these filters to look at however you guys want to look at it. You can even do last season matchups. Oh shit! Never mind. I think whatever it's supposed to pop up. I'll talk to Zach to see how that feature is going. But you have all the trends here. So we have straight up ATS, over under, team totals. So it kind of follows the NBA and WNBA, how we have that set up. But that's for every single game, and that's up for week 1 already. So season previews and all that stuff too. So here's another example of situational notes. The look ahead versus divisional rivals. Next game is on Thursday, so short rest. So all these little features that people look at in handicap, those are already on there for every game every week. All right, so that's the Money Bar. Oh shit, I forgot to put the banner. That's the moneybar.com, and then also Make sure you guys check out the Discord. It's at the bottom of the page. It just says Discord. Click on it. It's a free access to that. And then yeah, I think that's it for the moneybar.com as far as like new features. And then we are making a lot of changes within the team. We're bringing on someone to do a lot of the technical stuff for us, so more content to go out between the a few of us on the team so far. So a lot of changes in the next couple months. Hopefully everything gets a lot smoother and works a little bit better too as well. So look out for that, and we'll announce some stuff, all the new features and everything that pops up. Let's go to the top looks. Top looks. Munaf, let's go with you here first, and then also make sure to plug all the stuff you're doing over at SGPN.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the over in the last game of the night, the Orioles and Dodgers. I just really want to fade both pitchers. Don't really trust Cade Povich, Bobby Miller as well. And if you also want to take a look at Dodgers team total over, I think that's worth a look there as well. So we'll be rooting for runs in that game. So Orioles, Dodgers over, and then Dodgers team total over 4.5. And then again, catch me at the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, MLB Pod, NBA Pod, Player Props Podcast, specifically with the Propcast with myself and Chris. So just getting ready for the NFL season, which will be here next week. So yeah, man, just excited for football season, and right around the corner, like we mentioned, man, NBA season is going to be right there as well. So just getting ready for everything.
Love it. Also, there Sundays there might be a show. I mean, I'm talking to a a team on Sundays to have Let's Cap on a different channel, and it would be breaking down the NFL prior to the game. So that's still in the works, and that might end up happening towards the beginning of the NFL season, hopefully for week 1. But if not, maybe a little bit later. So Sundays there will be Let's Cap specifically for NFL, and then that was one thing I forgot to mention earlier. But top looks here that we broke down on, at least from my perspective: Astros full game, Padres full game, Jays first 5 money line or team total over. We talked about Braves money line and team total over as well. Dodgers team total over, and then the D-backs money line. I think for me, I haven't placed a bet yet on anything in the MLB, but I would probably want to back the D-backs here on the money line, just because I trust the rating system that we have here, and it's at a number that has been pretty profitable on the season. And then at that price, it seems like we're getting a bit of value there. The other one I would probably look at would be maybe the Jays first 5 in some way, either the money line or team total.
Yeah.
All right, so those would be the looks there for me. With that said, that's the end of the show here. So make sure you guys hit that like or subscribe button, or share the show with all your friends who sports bet or handicap games. I think one thing to note right here, Scott G, love the roundtable discussion. I think that's what really makes us different here. I mean, obviously, if I had someone doing some production in the back end, I'd be able to see the chat a little bit easier and provide content. I mean, provide answers to those questions and bring up those things a little bit more. But right now it's just me, so it's a little bit tough. But I would like more discussion with the chat as well. So you guys providing more picks and insights and asking more questions, that would be really great. But I always have to end the show like this: whether you fade or follow, it is on you to make that call. Good luck with all your action. Until next time, peace.